How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane, and I seem out of it. This is my second time attempting this video. I'm here to bring you another Digimon Ghost game review and recap. It is episode 21, known as The Spider's Lure, Lure. And before I even continue, please, for all the hard work I do, give me a like, hit that subscribe button, and please hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos just like this. Trying to get to 200. I'll be completely honest, every YouTuber's thing is to try to get to 1,000 because that's the only way we can even be verified. But I'm trying to get it a goal at a time. Please do not forget to also share the video to show others what a great time you're having. And I actually encourage comments. I do like hearing back from each and every one of you. So, in this episode, we are greeted with an goodie but oldie. And you know what? Some of my favorite things. I will say one thing. I will say one thing. Even though I cannot capture the same candidness that I have when I did the video the first time, I like the fact that I will not have to look at my notes this time because I remember everything I want to say. Today's Digimon, I'm just going to show you the pictures straight out. I contemplated whether if I still want to do this or not. Arukenimon. This is literally our Digimon of the day, and as a matter of fact, they are so good at... I'll give you some other pictures of her. Very good looking Digimon, very well designed. She first showed up in Digimon Adventure Season 2. Oh, you know what? I missed them. There we go. She also has a human form. And that human form actually shows up in this episode. And she also commands these Digimon known as Dokugumon. Dokugumon first appeared in Digimon Adventure Season 1 and has then shown up in Digimon Season 1, Digimon Season 2, Savers, Tamers, all of the Tri, the Kizuna, everything except for like maybe Cross Wars. I think that's the only one I didn't see that thing yet. As a matter of fact, it just got a rookie form as well. Dokugumon is a champion level Digimon that apparently was originally an insect Digimon but got corrupted by a computer virus. And Arukenimon is an ultimate level Digimon. You know my feelings on ultimate level Digimons in this series. They're showing them way too much, and they really don't know what to do. And by they, I mean the writer. Well, I saw the writer explain his thought process on the show on Digimon Con last week, right after I finished last week's video, and I will gladly go over what I thought of that. But Arukenimon, also known as Arukenimon, gets her name from the Greek goddess of spiders, Arachne. She's actually the queen of all Dokugumon as well. And as a matter of fact, apparently her abdomen can expel Dokugumon. Highly intelligent, highly cunning Digimon, able to transform in human-like appearance and get the opponents to let their guard down. Apparently, she's supposed to have a short temper and a ferocious personality. Now, we saw the short temper in the original, but the cunning personality is something we see in here. She doesn't really seem short-fused. And I'm actually very happy. I'm very happy with some of the endings of this episode because I've been complaining about Digimon being nuisances and actually killing people and not getting their comeuppances in instances that they do. She gets it. She gets her comeuppance in this one. As a matter of fact, she is apparently a scientist researcher who specializes in the brain, and her partner, usually her partner, Mummymon, was actually a doctor in the second episode that he showed up. But he, not evil, just misguided and pretty dumb, and I settle for that. But too many ultimate level Digimon, just flat out. Anyway, the intro to this show just started off in this dark abandoned mall, supposed to be renovated. We see her eye every once in a while, and this guy who has on a lab coat, he's going around showing these, I guess, the people who are the owners of the establishment. I don't know who they're supposed to be. If you've seen one of these, you've seen them all, right? When someone shows off that they're supposed to be renovating, but this guy has robots doing it. State-of-the-art robots that are doing it. They won't tire. They'll do the job the way you want it. Blah 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 blah. And they're all captured in a web. And Arukenimon, you can hear her say, I love the fact that I'm just calling her by her English name. Arukenimon, you can hear her say, hey, you got a really good brain on you. And her whole thing is she's going to eat your brain. And as a matter of fact, when the guy wakes up in the web, the two guys that he was showing around, they watch as her large head with sharp teeth come down on his head. And while we don't see it, we can hear the skull crunching, the blood gushing, all of that stuff. Sometime later, probably the next day, Arukenimon in her human form poses as a woman named Selena Moleda, supposed to be a associate of Hero's mom, and she's trying to invite him to a bug exhibit because she finds bugs and spiders and all those things fascinating, and knows that he finds things like that fascinating as well. He actually seems very interested in it, and she says, "Yeah, I know about your interesting friend, noting Gammamon." Which is weird to me because I wouldn't think Hero would tell his mom about Gammamon. I wouldn't think she would blab to a coworker or friend, regardless of it being non for profit, about those things, right? So she says you should also invite your other friends, and she's noting that his mom always talks about how smart he is. She wants to see his brain and blah 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 blah. Well, she even says we can go right now. I got a taxi out front. Next thing you know, we're at this site. Kirishiro's there, and he says he always found it interesting that bugs behaved like AI programs, which again is kind of like I mentioned before that I hate it when people like it's kind of like you hear a song that has a sample, and when people hear the song that was sampled from, they act like that song came after the song that sampled it. It's like, don't you mean like we have fashioned AI to behave like insects? That would seem like it will make more sense to me, but regardless, she notes that he's smart too. Not Tesla, Jellymon is kind of jealous of this kind of, but she's like, hey, don't get a big head. The important thing to note is Jellymon and Ruli comes up with Angormon. They are both in their invisible forms. She actively knows about Gammamon, which should seem suspect to all parties involved. And Ruli makes note while they are inside this elevator, supposedly going to a private area just for them, that this wasn't supposed to be a mall that was going to be renovated. And the disguise Arukenimon, the disguise Arukenimon, it's basically going, yeah, you're very smart too. I like that. They step off. Ruli is kind of stands back because she's like, wasn't this place supposed to be renovated? And Gorman says he can hear faint breathing. Now, Arukenimon is a good 10 yards ahead of them. And um, she talks about webs being like the neurons and brains, like the lines in the brain that connect with the neurons and things of that nature. And it's very, very funny because once Angorma mentioned the faint breathing, Hero looks up and they all see the webs, and that's when she starts talking about it. And very cute, Jellymon could not say nerves and neurons, but Kirishiro explains to her, what nerves and neurons are, and makes Arachnamon like, oh yeah, you really do got a good brain. And when Gammamon mentions that this seems really creepy, within an instant, she is up on them, patting Gammamon's head like, oh, was that a human thought? All of them jump at this because she was literally at least 10 yards ahead of them. Now she's on them. And she says, hey, Hero, did you know that you can tell how intelligent your prey is by eating their brains? And that's when she shifts into her monstrous Arukenimon form. Very, very big, very, very large Spider Digimon. And when asked who is she, I told you earlier, she says that she's a scientist, but she wants to research a superior evolution. They start running because she calls the Dokugumon, and they surround them. Now Kirishiro goes behind a door with Jellymon, thinking that they got away, but there's a Dokugumon on the other side, just one though. And it really says a very rude, bitchy thing, like, it serves you right for trying to run on your own. And when Hero suggests they go back and get him, and Gormon's like, well, he has Jellymon, he should be okay. Sure, sure. But then Hero falls through a hole in the ground, like a hidden hole in the ground, falls through. Other Dokugumon come out of it as Angormon try to grab him, but they miss. Meanwhile, we go back to this whole entire time. Arachnamon, Arukenimon, she is laughing. Her laugh is a key. Now, I will note two things. She has a double over on her laugh. Like, and when I mean double over, it's you guys like Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z. If you ever listen to Gogeta or Vegito speak, it is literally Goku and Vegeta's voice actors, whether in English or in Japanese, speaking together. Now, when Arukenimon laughs, her kiki laugh, you hear the sound of wood clopping together, and it is very much like a yokai, where kind of in mythology, yokais have this kind of laugh, or they have a sound that accompanies them, and it's really good. And as a matter of fact, the art for her, what they did with the lights and the shadows, because she's in a room with dozens of screens in front of her, able to watch all of them, and she's on a web, and just the light on her makes her look proper creepy. Really, really good stuff. Good with sound, good with the light. Now, where am I at here? I want to look at these notes just a little bit. Now, Jellymon's BB Thunder is not working on Dokugumon. We get an evolution to Tesla Jellymon. Her cousin Shune knocks it out. I'm assuming knocks it out. I don't know if they're actually trying to kill at this point, but her. I like that when the Dohumon knocked out, they're like upside down twitching, and Arukenimon is all for this. She's like, "Oh yes, show me more of that evolution." Ruli is forced to evolve, and Gormon is a some. I cannot say his stupid name. Samba. It's supposed to be Samba. It's supposed to be Sambira. I don't know. Cause you guys got a Piximon's name wrong all this time. Sorry. Yeah, you got Pixiemon's name, or should I say Piccolomon's name wrong, and it's been around all this time. I don't actually know what you're trying to say, but Sambira, Samba, I'm on some Samba and Gormon appears. Apparently, his kick move is called Jive. I don't like how that sounds either. But Arukenimon is going over like, yeah, so they have tactical evolution. They evolve when the time is right, and it not only gets them stronger, they get faster. Meanwhile, Hero and Gammamon awaken at the bottom of the hole. They can hear someone saying, "Help me! I want to get through." They're on that same web that we saw the guy get eaten on, and only one guy's left. The older guy with bald with the mustache, and he goes, "The spider ate their heads. She's gonna eat my head, right?" And Hero looks over to the side, and he has this look of like fear and disgust, because he remembers her saying about eating brains. And yeah, dude, a giant spider lady that talks about eating brains is not kidding about eating brains, and it's just kind of dawns on him. Now the Dokugumon come in after Gammamon, warns Hero, and that his whole deal is, all right, let's get him away from these people, and we'll figure this out. Of course, Arukenimon's all over because she says, "Hey, that's the dessert room. Don't worry about that. You guys will be joining that next anyway." But she's like, "Come on, evolve. I need to see you evolve," because she probably knows that Gammamon has different forms. Don't know how she got her information, but she got good information. And Gammamon has to turn into Wizen Gammamon to break through a wall because they come to a dead end. And Wizen Gammamon, the all four Triceratops with rail guns, shoots and blasts their way through, and they're running off. Meanwhile, Tesla Jellymon and Kyushiro have to knock out another Dokugumon, and Tesla Jellymon's properly annoyed, saying, "Why does it seem like we're going in a circle?" To which Kirishiro says, "It does seem like we're going in a circle." And he finally notices that in the webs around him, there are cell phones, there are camcorders, and he asks Jellymon, literally says in the translation, says, "I want you to cut those wires right there." So she does the punish Shune move. It doesn't cut, the electricity runs through it. And he's like, okay, it's a very superconductive electromagnetic webs. And Arukenimon, now I love the fact that no one can hear her. I'm assuming the Dokugumon maybe can hear her, maybe? I don't know. It's really dumb because I don't think anyone can hear her, but it feels like that this mad scientist Digimon is talking to us, the viewers, because she's thinking out loud constantly. Not in her head, she's just talking and thinking out loud, saying, yeah, the current of the webs is very strong. It converts digital images into the screens that I'm using to watch you guys. Literally talking to no one. And so, while Tesla Jellymon is annoyed that her electric attacks aren't working, Kirishiro says it's okay. He double taps the Digivice right here, allowing them to shift into what I call the digital upside down. tells her to hit the ceiling above. It breaks and it falls, knocking out a bunch of the cameras and knocking out a bunch of her screens. And she's all Arukenimon is all for it. She is hyped about this. She is excited about this. Now, one thing to note that I didn't mention earlier, she said that your friends can relax when they first got there. Meaning she was talking about Jellymon and Angormon both being invisible can go uninvisible. The only way you can see them, guys, is if you have the wrist Digivice or if you're a Digimon. And I just think, for as smart as these kids are, I've been saying it before and I'll say it again, they don't have a lot of common sense. Anywho, indeed, we have Winsengammon gets ambushed by a Dokugumon while they're in this open area. It's kind of like if you've ever been to a mall, a big, huge mall that has like the staircases that go up. You can just look up there in the open area in the digital upside down of this area. Get ambushed by Dokugumon. She says, "Don't use your venom. Don't want to mess up those good brain juices." They're able to get the Dokugumon off of him, but he turns back into Gammamon and they book it. And meanwhile, she's still going like, "Oh, I turned back. This is gonna be good and delicious and blah 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 blah." Evil stuff. Samba and Goromon has taken out a bunch of Dokugumon. He's out of breath. Tell him really don't worry. He may be tired from fighting, but he's gonna protect her. When Kirishiro and Tesla Jellymon show up, they're like, "Hey, don't worry, we were able to get to you because we took out a bunch of the cameras. So she can't really see us." And Goromon, pardon me, flat out says, "I don't think that worked because they are surrounded on the ceiling and on the floor by Dokugumon." He said they just used the blind spots that they couldn't see us to get to us. And even this whole entire time, Arukenimon was saying that this giant web, all of this is like my brain. This whole entire area is a test site for her. So should be more like a hunting ground for her, but you get what I'm saying. Well, you get what's going on. So Gammamon, Hero here, Kirishiro scream from up above. Gammamon turns into GulusGammamon, the blue flying form that I thought could only fly with gliding, but I guess if you make a powerful enough gust, they can just go up. They go up, but once they get to the floor, they are again surrounded by Dokugumon, and they shoot out a web, and they are captured. Now everyone is captured, hanging upside down. Hero comes to consciousness. Gammamon is still unconscious, and we see the shadow of the giant, creepy Arukenimon coming towards him. Her deal is she wants to eat Gammamon's head first because, hey, he's able to turn into multiple forms to suit his needs. She needs that for her superior evolution. And the gang was trying to wake up Gammamon. They screamed for him to wake up, and Hero starts screaming, bloody murder, trying to say, Gammamon, you got to get up, you got to move away. And he starts begging her, like, please don't do it. And at this point, her sharp teeth come right over his head, and his eye opens, and it's all black. If you've been with me for this whole entire show, you know darn well what that means. It means that he turns into GulusGammamon. That's right, the dark form of Gammamon that takes no crap from anybody and is willing to kill. I could not have been happier to see him. So he shows up, and she's like, "Oh, this is great. I gotta eat you. I gotta have that brain right now." And he flat out says to her, and I'm gonna go to my notes for this. He flat out says to her, "Sure, eat up, have your fill." Jams his hand into her mouth. Now, I really haven't been on board with the design of BlackGargomon, but I'm kind of coming around on GulusGammamon. I kind of like his form now. Sticks hand into her mouth and does his Desdune move, which is his black flame move. And you see the flame spilling from her mouth and her body kind of jostle. And she's upside down while he's doing this. So her eyes roll into the back of her head. I wish the death was even more gruesome because, guys, we heard her kill a guy, right? But she just kind of does the twitch thing and starts digitally fading away. And once she's dead, all her webs are gone. And when Hero tries to take a step towards him, he's like, "Hey, not yet, not so soon." Actually, where am I at here? Yeah, he tells him stay back. It's not time yet, and says See ya. But the see ya, he says, is Johnny, just a cool guy. See you later, Johnny. And once he disappears, we see Black Gargomon. Now, if you're saying Gargomon sounds familiar, and I'm trying to get this good picture for you guys, Gargomon is the evolution of Terriermon. And yes, there is such a thing as a Black Gargomon form. If I can just find, this picture here will have to do. Black Gargomon. This guy's in the shadows, this champion level Digimon. And remember before, I said there was a Black Agumon the last time we saw GulusGammamon. So, could he be a leader of a whole black group of Digimon? Could they be drawn to him and trying to rely upon his dark Digizoid? Who knows? But the crew are now outside. The paramedics and authorities have arrived. They're pulling people out. The one guy that's left, he was talking about the spiders. And then Hero gets a message from his mother saying that the real Sonia Melodia is going to show up, and he's asking him to show her around town. So it shows that Hero's mom is not totally irresponsible, even though I don't care much how much non-for-profit BS you're doing going around the world saving people. I have other things I want to say about that, about people who want to save people, but if you know your husband's gone and your son is home alone, why would you not go there to be with him? But at least I know she's not completely irresponsible, and will at least let him know when someone's showing up that he wants to show around. And of course, all the crew, the entire crew, just sigh and almost fall over comedically. And then Goromon gives us our sonnet, our poem of the day. Where is it? The morning spider brings good fortune. The night spider brings thieves, and Digimon spiders are not welcome anymore. Next episode is gonna be about nightmares or something of that nature. Didn't see a Digimon, just saw what appeared to be nightmares, right? I'm gonna give this episode. Well, before I tell you that, let me tell you about what the showrunner guy said. He said that they wanted just 3 children because they just wanted 3 Digimon, and they wanted to have the Digimon have more autonomy, so the children don't actually talk down to them; they treat them as equals. It feels like a person who doesn't really watch their show is writing their shows. Because unless the Digimon act like children, which Gammamon acted like a proper baby brother first episode, just biting everything, which Gammamon is properly adorable, but he has definitely gotten older and matured. And the odd Patamon here and there who sometimes says baby stuff in the original Digimon. Patamon was very much adult like in Digimon Adventure 2020. And Patamon in Digimon Frontier was an actual baby. But now when you don't really have partner Digimon, they turn into Digimon, but you get what I'm saying. I feel like you don't really know what you're talking about. You're just kind of lazy, especially when we heard one of the guys who does the video games, instead of them making new Digimon, they just pick other famous Digimon that casual people like and try to put them in the forefront, and then pick a Digimon that hardcore people like and says, yeah, we're going to do this guy and then we'll build on this one, as opposed to just making anything new. That's neither here nor there for the games, but when it comes to the show, it bothers me because I'm like, dude, in Digimon Tamers, Takato don't even talk down to Gilmon. I don't know what you mean by talking down. They don't treat them like slaves, and they don't treat them like jerks. The only one that did that was actually the Digimon Emperor. He's a bad guy. Just kind of feels like you're lazy and don't want to have more tamers. That's my opinion. This episode gets a 4 out of 5 because they killed the Digimon. I mean, there's a cherry tree that killed 2 people. That was killing people. They killed a bunch of people. They didn't kill. There's who else killed? The champions from last week accidentally killed a guy because they're stupid. I don't know why you put him in the flames that would hurt him, as opposed to just pick him up, grab him, and take him outside yourself. Digimon are a nuisance, just flat out. They're Digimon that are just flat out evil and kill people and eat people, just like the Arukenimon, Arukenimon of this episode, and they're just it makes no sense of it. I'm so happy. Even with command was that Commandamon? No, Sealsdramon. When GulusGammamon kills Sealsdramon, like he just wants to kill just because. He's like, you hear that? This guy's just you hear that hero, right? He's just killing just because he wants to. He has no mission. So I'm gonna kill him. And I'm happy that GulusGammamon took out Arukenimon in this episode. That's why it gets a 4 out of 5 from me. Plus, her laugh, you got the original VA, original Japanese VA. Her laugh that was accompanied by that wooden clomp echo. The sound was great. Making her look proper creepy was great. Seeing the fear and anger, I don't want to say anger, but seeing just the look of shock in Hero's face when he's like, damn, she actually killed two people. She ate two dudes' heads. She was serious about that. But I'm getting tired of they're not strong enough to take on ultimate level Digimon. Now I love the fact that GulusGammamon is a champion level dark Digimon that's able to beat up ultimate level Digimon. But I'm getting really tired of this. We're 21 episodes in. You guys barely use champions. The pacing is very bad. Like, and when I mean bad, I mean like in terms of levels. Say what you want about Digimon Adventure 2020. Yeah, the first, I want to say the second episode had Omnimon in it. You know why it had Omnimon in it? It had Omnimon in it because they were facing Algoromon, another mega level Digimon. It wasn't that they were fighting a champion level Digimon and said, we gotta go straight to Mega to kill it. No, it's proper threat assessment. You start climbing the ladders. It gets to the point where, like in Digimon Tamers, when the rookies start getting strong enough to fight on par with certain low level champions, then the champion level seems to start getting stronger to the point that now we got to digivolve. Okay, now you guys are able to do that. Now we get ultimates. You're kind of doing it, but you have to focus on it. Oh man, these now we got Davis. We gotta fully turn into ultimate forms. I like that pacing so much better. This feels like Yokai Watch plus Cross Wars, and Cross Wars had some nice Digimon in it, but it was not good with the pacing. They took out levels and just said, "Hey, doesn't matter what evolution or levels are. This rookie little red thing here can beat up anybody." Friendship, but I'm so happy that Digimon got its comeuppance and actually was killed for its crimes. 4 out of 5. Let me know what you thought of the episode in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think of what the showrunner said about the uh, the 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 Digimon partners, the humans. I don't really get that they talk down. That might be a thing in English because no offense to anybody that likes watching dubs, it really feels like in dubs they go for a different market and they really try to dumb things down a bit. And and what I've seen so far, especially in Adventure 2020, they didn't really talk to them like they were children. They talked to them like they were partners fighting side by side, which they did. They fought side by side in Adventure 2020. So I don't think that person knew exactly what the heck he was saying. Regardless of all this, thank you for taking some time out to spend some time with me. Please do not forget to like, leave a subscription, and do not forget to hit that notification bell to be notified of more videos like this, and share the video so others can see what a great time we're having. As always, be good, be blessed, wash your hands, wear a mask, be safe out there. It's getting crazy out there. But be good to yourself, be good to others, either way it goes. Don't be a jerk, and I will most definitely see you guys next time.